All right, just wanted to address this LeBron Kawhi Leonard thing, man. Let's talk about it. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Make sure you share everything. We just make this a big old video. I was gonna make this 2 videos. So we also talk about the Jrue Holiday trade that could send him to the Brooklyn Nets for Spencer Dinwiddie and Dinwiddie not liking that news. And also we'll talk about Montrezl Harrell and Paul George getting into it. But first, talk about Kawhi LeBron. All right. Most people and most people when people say, well, why you make the Kawhi video about LeBron? Because bronzexuals are trying to act like, oh, Kawhi Leonard is a choke artist, he this, he that. LeBron has had many years of choking. People don't remember. Couldn't get past Boston. Choked against Dwight Howard. Didn't score no points in the fourth quarter versus the Mavs. He choked versus the Mavs. The difference in blaming somebody that's established and not established is totally different. You know what I'm saying? That's what people got to understand. LeBron choked so many times, before he got his first title, and after he got his title, the criticism was warranted. Kawhi Leonard didn't choke versus the Clippers neither. People got to remember he didn't choke. What happened was he got tired of carrying them. He got no help from nobody, none. Paul George wasn't helping. Every now and again he chip in. Patrick Beverley was injured. We'll talk about Trez and Paul George in a minute. He really didn't get no help. Yeah, I think he got tired. You know what I'm saying? He dealing with whatever his chronic injury is as well. So when people are like, oh, he went out there and he just choked the whole series. He had some really good games leading up to that. And to be honest, the Clippers should have probably lost to the Mavericks if Porzingis would have stayed healthy, in my opinion. So let's not act like Kawhi Leonard ain't ball out throughout the playoffs. Probably in Game 7, he got tired of probably carrying their lazy asses. But then again, he didn't choke when he went up against LeBron in the finals. He shut LeBron down the second time when the Spurs played the Heat. You know what I'm saying? He took Toronto, a team who couldn't get over the hump. He took them to the championship. You know what I'm saying? And they wasn't supposed to be final favorites at all. You know what I'm saying? They barely got past Philly, but he got them over the hump. Don't forget, when they went against Golden State, that game was Zaza injured them. Golden State was supposed to be perennial champions and run the table and go win the championship. Kawhi Leonard balled out until Zaza hurt him. He was killing the Warriors. They was up by like 20 points, and Zaza did that dirty move. You know what I'm saying? And Karma came back and bit the Warriors with all their players falling down last season in the championship. And Kawhi, you got the title that he probably should have got that year. So at the end of the day, Kawhi has never shown, real choke tendencies at all. You know what I'm saying? You got to remember when he was balling to the championship last year, LeBron was at home watching the playoffs. So you telling me who choked and who didn't choke, who was getting blocked by Mario Hezonja, who was alienating his teammates. One of the reasons the Lakers didn't make the championship last year because the teammates didn't respect LeBron. Oh, LeBron didn't have no help. Why was Brandon Ingram all magically an all-star? Okay? Tell me that. Why was Brandon Ingram magically an all-star when he leave? Why Kyle Kuzma's stock dropped this year when he stayed with LeBron James? If Kyle Kuzma got traded somewhere else, he probably would have been an all-star this year as well. LeBron had help last year. And don't give me, oh, he was injured and they couldn't make the playoffs. Bullshit. Kawhi Leonard was injured a lot last year. Paul George was injured a lot this year for the Clippers. They still made it. So don't try to sit here and give LeBron all his flowers and all the glory right now, because the difference is Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis on defense. Anthony Davis doing all the small stuff. Anthony Davis lead the team with what? Rebounds, blocks, points, all that. So don't try to make it seem like, oh, Kawhi choked and LeBron is the best player in the world. He playing with another top 5 player right now. To be honest, you can make a case that, Anthony Davis should be the MVP over LeBron James. People say, well, when LeBron don't play, the Lakers, last year when LeBron didn't have AD, he couldn't make the championship. He couldn't make the playoffs, excuse me. So at the end of the day, these bronzexuals trying to push a narrative that, oh, Kawhi choked. Where? Kawhi was carrying that team throughout the playoffs. They was lucky to get out the first round. Despite Doc Rivers having a real strong history in choking up leads. Despite Paul George, Pandemic P, not playing well in the playoffs. So don't give me that. A lot of people was relieved that LeBron didn't have to play Kawhi Leonard. Remember they played him in the finals and they subbed Kawhi back in and LeBron was at the free throw line. He rolled his eyes like the pussy he is. Not Kawhi. Get out of here, bro. At the end of the day, a lot of Laker fans feel like they about to have a easy ride to the championship. You know what I'm saying? Which we don't count because that rec league ball dog shit don't count to me. An easy walk to the championship. They was happy. They was relieved Kawhi Leonard didn't make the Western Conference Finals because they know he the LeBron stopper. And they were, well, they beat the Clippers in the bubble. Then nobody see LeBron hold Kawhi Leonard and foul him. At the end of the day, the NBA be doing everything to put LeBron on top. You know what I'm saying? Instead of us, naturally putting him on a pedestal, they've been shoving him down niggas' throat forever. And people say, well, he's a good dude off the court. Man, I don't respect him because no more. When Kyrie was trying to tell people social injustice was, we should focus on that. LeBron didn't speak up nothing about social injustice. He didn't have his Malcolm X hand and book in his hand. LeBron was going to play. LeBron is controlled by corporate white America. Don't think LeBron is no different from Jordan because he's not. Jordan didn't speak up on shit like that because he wanted to protect his brand, and Nike and the NBA didn't want that. LeBron tried to speak up, but he corporate though. You can't be corporate or commercial and be radical at the same time. Why didn't he speak up when Kyrie was trying to voice his opinion on why they shouldn't play? Nah, his punk ass did what Nike told him to do. Then we can move on. Then he gonna try to be fake and walk out the meeting and try to act like the NBA players was gonna boycott and lead a bubble. What'd he do? Less than 24 hours later, his ass came back. We gonna play basketball. Come on, man. This motherfucker ain't no martyr. No, it won't be no martyr. This dude don't have no motherfucking balls. This dude ain't this dude is a corporate black pet. That's all he is. When Kyrie was trying to warn them, he didn't say nothing. He didn't voice his concern. He shut the fuck up. So at the end of the day, no matter how big or how small the situation, Malcolm X or Martin Luther King or Muhammad Ali wouldn't have kept their mouth shut. LeBron did. LeBron cared about his money and his family as he should before he cared about the NBA. That's it. You know what I'm saying? LeBron is a tap dancing company Negro. And I said what I said, and that really showed this year. If you don't agree with me, you want to be blind, then, why didn't he walk off? Why didn't he then support Kyrie? And these motherfuckers want to act all fake. Oh, I'm tired of this happening in America. Another black man getting shot. What your punk ass gonna do about it? Honestly, what you gonna do about it, LeBron? Nothing. You gonna go back to your mansion. You gonna go back to your family. So stop acting like you still in a struggle like the rest of us. Please, get out of here. You're not struggling. You don't care to help the struggle. You're not gonna give up your job or give up your money or give up your status to change your black man and change police reform. You're not about that life. So please stop it, bro. You ain't nothing but a corporate puppet. You ain't nothing but the Dr. Umar of the NBA. And I said what I said. All right, but let's move on. So what we moving on to now? All right, Paul George and Montrezl Harrell got into it. All right, basically, Paul George blamed Montrezl Harrell for an error that happened, a turnover while he was guarded by Michael Porter Jr. Chris Hayne reported that Montrezl said that Paul George think he know everything. He ain't never wrong and never take accountability. They got into a heated exchange. And basically, the error was actually on Paul George. And when Paul George tried to take accountability later on, Montrezl Harrell was like, no, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I won't be surprised if they don't move Paul George. Maybe to try to get Giannis if Giannis not happy in Milwaukee. But at the same time, Paul George, I just think he didn't fit. I think it was a bad get for the Lakers. For the Clippers. They gave up too much for him. I think they was better off keeping who they had around Kawhi Leonard, and that was Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Danilo Gallinari. I think they was better off probably trading to get Chris Paul and bringing Chris Paul back with Kawhi Leonard. I think that was better than getting with Paul George. Then again, who was Kawhi playing? What was Chris Paul playing in Houston? I'm not sure, how they would have got Chris Paul. Could they gave up Gilgeous-Alexander and they had the space to take on Chris Paul. So I think it was better off trying to get Chris Paul. I think that was better off getting Westbrook before getting him, to be honest. But I think they could have got Chris Paul instead of trading for Paul George, and I think everything would have worked out. Chris Paul would have took and made big shots. The only question about Chris Paul, would he been able to stay healthy, and could you have kept Gallinari to get Chris Paul? That was the question. I think they was a better team without Paul George, to be honest. And now they seeing that Paul George don't take no accountability. Paul George is soft. Paul George is a choke artist. And Montrezl Harrell was right to call him out. You're not going to blame me for doing something that you did and you never take accountability. He never take accountability. We can see, when people say, well, you playing bad, and then he sits there and he deflects off James Harden and say, I'm better. At least I ain't James Harden. I do everything. I rebound, I defend. And Paul George, he don't take accountability, and that's the first step into basically unlocking his playoff, poor play. He's not a guy to take accountability, and that's not good. He can't be a leader. He can't be one of your best players in the team. And I won't be surprised they get rid of him. But also, Montrezl Harrell, like, motherfucking, who is you? I get it on that situation. Who is you to be criticizing people? You played terrible since coming into the bubble. You was non-existent. You had a good game 7, a solid game 7, but you non-existent. You didn't do nothing. You and Lewis Williams, where did y'all show up at? So At the end of the day, don't be surprised if Paul George don't get moved out of the Clippers, or Montrezl Harrell ain't back neither. I just think it was. I just think Paul George is just soft at this point in his career. He not mentally strong as well. In the bubble, out the bubble, he still had these same woes, and it's the same thing. I understand him trash frustration, but they both play like shit in the bubble, so they really shouldn't be arguing. Kawhi should be really sitting there and cussing these dudes out, in my opinion. But to move on, Jrue Holiday, they made a trade with Jrue Holiday, Musa, whatever it is, and Jarrett Allen goes over to the New Orleans Pelicans for Jrue Holiday. And Spencer Dinwiddie as well. So Spencer Dinwiddie, Jarrett Allen, the dude Musa, they would head over. I'm not sure if it's a draft pick of all. They would head over to the Brooklyn Nets for Jrue Holiday. How will Holiday fit over there with the Brooklyn Nets? Great question. Not sure. Because you got Kyrie. He really a point guard, to be honest. Jrue Holiday, they got him playing off the ball. But Jrue Holiday really a point guard. He could play some too. But he really a point guard, and playing with Kyrie Irving, it would give him a defensive wing. But I mean, it'll be a good fit because he can play defense. I think it'd be a good fit. But giving up Jarrett Allen, I don't know, man. They got to find him another rim protector. But Spencer Dinwiddie wasn't feeling the trade. He said that, I like yesterday's news better. But, I don't like to trade for Dinwiddie. He going to play point guard next to another point guard, Alonzo. He in the same situation he was in with the Pelicans. So, I guess that's their backup plan if they don't get Bradley Beal. But Spencer Dinwiddie will be moved from Brooklyn. I'm not sure, would they look to bring Chris Paul in? I doubt it because they already got Kyrie Irving. So, I'm not pretty sure, where else Spencer Dinwiddie can go. But, he don't want to come back to the Pistons. So, that is what it is. And he don't like the Pelicans. So, not sure the Pelicans going to take that deal for Jrue Holiday anyway. So who really knows? But to be honest, I think, the deal doesn't do much for New Orleans. They already got a rim protector in Jackson Hayes. They still got what's his name? Or Jahlil Okafor, excuse me. I guess Jarrett Allen could help. And Spencer Dinwiddie, you just putting the same. You putting him back in a 2-guard position next to Lonzo. I think he's more of a ball handler. So I don't know why New Orleans would do that deal, but I mean, it's not my cup of tea if I'm New Orleans. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I appreciate the love, support. Want to make a donation to the channel? Cash App, PayPal in the description. Best way to donate is to share the video. Let me know what you guys think. Check out the NBA Talk playlist. We gone.